Hi, and welcome back to my playthrough of Star Trek Fleet Captains. If I sum up all the mistakes I did during this playthrough, I really should emphasize that this is a personal learning session for me rather than an actual playthrough. So please again apologize for especially the last episode with all the errors. I really tried to do better in this episode. Right now the Federation player is at 6 victory points, whereas the Klingon player only has 4 victory points. And please remember, I only play until one side reached 8 victory points, because it's just a learning exercise, not really a full playthrough. And as I'm playing both sides alone at this point in time, I think that is more than enough to, let's say, for me, learn this game and to show you how the game mechanics actually work. Currently, the Klingon player does not have any reason to attack the Federation player at all. All the missions the Klingon player currently has are science-only missions. Seems to be a little bit odd for the Klingon player, but had to do with the ship selection during the setup of the game. And I think that should be the reason why we want to cycle this mission here. Take no damage when you are the target during a combat, but really the Federation player thinks ahead and says, I think I won't be the target of a ship. Of course, I could wait for an encounter to show up, but I think better safe than sorry. So let's cycle this card and we draw a new combat mission. This is what I chose. So I have all 3 mission types in front of us, and this is the crippling strike. And this, okay, another tough one. Inflict 2 damage to a single enemy ship in combat during a single turn. Doing 2 damage to a ship at red alert status does not count, but this would be the perfect timing for the Federation player to gain his missing 2 victory points in order to win this game. And the Somra is actually not too far from the Enterprise and the USS Excelsior. So the Excelsior definitely will not make it to this space when flying through this hypergiant star with the size of a 9. That's definitely not possible. But we could, for example, take this route and really hope under this sector, or the sector is a small sector, and we don't find an encounter there. So I think this is really some interesting situation for the Federation player, and of course also for the Klingon player, because this is not a secret mission. So the Klingon player, who will go last in this turn, perfectly knows what the Federation player is up to, because with this mission, or with this completed mission, he would actually win the game. So I think here is what I will do. I will move the USS Enterprise to this sector here, so we have to explore it, and this is a Class L planet. It's habitable, and pity, we would have an encounter on the roll of a 1, 2, 4. Earlier when we had this mission to get some victory points for encounters, I would love this card, but right now we don't have that mission, and I want to move ahead to do a combined attack against the Sombra. But first of all, I have to roll the encounter die. That's a 2. Of course, movement has to stop. This time I will remember, and we will draw ourselves our encounter card. And would you believe it, this time we face an alternate future. A glimpse into a possible alternate future forces you to reassess your fleet's priorities. Discard your current mission cards and replace them with new cards from your mission deck. Discard this card. So I think this changed our overall plans completely, as we have to cycle all of these missions. Okay, I think, yeah, this was already coming close, so only 2 sectors were missing here. So this could also mean we could actually win this game. The Stellar Research, okay, something we could have done, but this was really planned to happen during this turn. But yeah, we cannot change it, so we have to discard all the 3 mission cards. I don't have any mission deck, so I can choose again. So I will take again 1 combat mission, 1 influence mission, and 1 science mission, just to be prepared whatever they are. Let's have a look at all the cards. And would you believe it, again, we have again the crippling strike. Inflict 2 damage to a single enemy ship in combat during a single turn. Okay, so maybe we could really move the Excelsior to the Sombra, and as she has the +2 weapons modification, there is really a slight chance we will be able to inflict 2 damage to her. Of course, I would prefer to do a combined attack with both ships, but that's not possible as the Enterprise has to stop after the encounter. Okay, the influence mission is also not too bad. Remove all enemy control tokens from one location, and this is worth 1 victory point. This might really be a quick shot, to be honest. Yeah, maybe I might reconsider the attack from the USS Excelsior. And then we have the resource extraction. Make 3 consecutive successful level 15 sensor tests on an uninhabitable planet. Each test requires a separate action. You may use multiple chips to complete this mission, but this mission is also worth 2 victory points. But a level 15 sensor scan is definitely not very easy. The Enterprise could do this test easily, but she is at the location of a habitable planet, so she won't advance this mission at this point in time. Bummer. The Enterprise is really stranded here. She cannot do anything. She cannot take a scan action because all the sectors around her are explored already. So I think we will make it plain and simple, and we'll do an influence action and place a control token on this location. And in order to show you some actual combat, and maybe in order to end this playthrough, even though I'm not very keen to end my playthrough at this point in time, I will try to move, or I will move the Excelsior through this sector here, having a size of only 2 to this sector here, so that's definitely not a problem. Right now her speed is at 8 or 6 or 9, I cannot really remember, but definitely enough. She needs 3 movement points to go there, so that's 1 and 2 or 3 movement points, and then we will try to engage the Sombra here. First of all, I will take a free action and will adjust my power settings, and I will go to the second level of the power supply, so having a weapons level of 7, engine setting of only 1, so she's a very slow one, but right now she does not really need it, and a shield level of also 7, which is fine if the Klingon player afterwards decide to go and chase the Excelsior for revenge, of course. But with this weapons level, she should be really able to inflict more than enough damage to the Sombra. And as her action, she will start the combat action. So we already know she has a weapon rating of 7 plus 2, that brings her up to 9. Now the Federation player would be allowed to play a command card, and he decides to play this advanced sensors card, and during combat, when the sensors are at least at 1, that's the reason why I changed the power settings for the Excelsior, he gets a plus 3 weapons or plus 3 shields. In this case of course we will go for the 3 weapons, so we are already at 12 weapon points. The Klingon player could play a command card as well, but he does not have a fitting command card at this point in time. This is really pity. He does have some cards that will increase his weapons level, but nothing that would increase his current shield level, which is currently only at a 3, so it will be pretty tough for the Klingon player right now. Still, we have to do our die roll for each of the sides, so maybe the Klingon player gets really lucky and gets more than enough results on the die roll. So let's do it. So let's start with the Federation player. That's the 6. Okay, there is no chance. That brings him up to 18. And yeah, even if the Klingon player now rolls a 6, he comes to 9, and this is double amount or the double amount of the difference basically between the weapons rating and the shield rating. In this case, the Klingon player or the Sombra gets 2 level of damage, bringing him down to the red alert level, which is really tough. So yeah, so you can see that here. She's definitely not destroyed, but it's more than enough to complete the crippling strike mission here. So this will be completed, and therefore the Federation player gains an additional 2 victory points, bringing up to the 8 victory points that we agreed, or I agreed with myself during the startup of this playthrough. So actually the Federation player has won this game. Of course, the Klingon player is allowed to take his turn because the Federation player went first. He needs also 4 victory points. If he matches the amount of victory points, then the Klingon player actually wins. And that's the reason why I will keep playing for the Federation player. So I will draw another mission, and I will go for another science mission. And I really hope for a short science missions. And this is Contact the Resistance. And that's a secret mission worth 2 victory points. Make a successful level 12 sensors test on the habitable planet your opponent controls that is closest to his command post. Determine distance by the size of location using the movement rules. If there is a tie for the closest planet, you choose which planet to contact. So I'm really not thinking of doing that, because the only habitable planet that the Klingon player currently controls is this one here. We could go there, we could take our scan action easily, but I think the Jäger is definitely too far away. I think this is 3, this is 8, this is 10, so the Jäger would need 11 points of movement to go there and then take her scan action. She has a yellow alert level, so I'm really not sure. So I think I will rather repair the USS Jäger instead, because right now there might still be a chance that the Marta go after the Jäger and try to intercept her, because also the Klingon player can now cycle a mission, which he might really doing. So I think he should be prepared. So he will repair the USS Jäger. You can do that at any friendly outpost which we currently control, and we do that here, or you could go back to the command post, but I think I will stay where I am and will repair the Jäger, and I will also go for the biggest shield rating, I guess something like this maybe. So the Jäger has now a shield rating of 7, and I think this should be enough to at least try to protect against the Marta, if the Marta will go after the Jäger, of course. First of all, the Klingon player will play another crew member, and he will assign this crew member to the Marta. This is now a captain, +1 weapons for each crew card assigned to this ship, including current here. So right now this gives the Marta a +2 on the weapons rating. And I think I will not cycle any mission here, because I do have other plans, but maybe I think I will not be able to do this one here, and this doesn't do me any good. So I think I will cycle this mission here, though the first contact mission. I will draw another mission, and this is a secret mission, so I won't tell you what it is. I'm not too sure if I will go after this mission, because it does not provide enough victory points. And if I really concentrate on these 2 missions here, which is a secret mission, I should have hidden that as well, then the Klingon player is actually able to win this game. So let's move over to the Marta and beam up this away team here. So we were able to complete this mission here, which is worth 2 victory points. So we are already at 6 victory points for the Klingon player. Of course, we are allowed to draw another mission. Again, another secret mission. Still not really high enough, I fear. I think the Sombra will try to break away to this sector here. The way it works, we just compare the sizes of these ships. Excelsior has a 3, the Sombra has a 2. We roll a die for both of the sides, and if the Sombra reaches the same setting or the same number as the Excelsior, the maneuver was successful. So let's roll for the Sombra first. That's a 3. We add her 2. That's a 5 only. So let's see what the Excelsior would roll here. That's a 2 +2, that's a 5. So the Sombra actually successfully did her maneuver to break away, so she can move to this sector with 1 engine setting right now, which she has left. So remember, you can move to an adjacent location with only 1 engine setting as long as it's not deactivated. I think the Sombra will do a... No, I think she will keep her current settings here. Unfortunately, her sensors are deactivated, and this is really crap, to be honest. I think I just blew it. Basically, I think there's nothing I can do or could have done otherwise. So I was hoping she could assist the scan action here. Yeah, I think I have to live with that. So I brought her into safety, so the Sombra will stay where she is. And originally I planned to move this cloak token to this location. I want to decloak. Actually, this is the cloak in here, the Corina here, and then I would want it to have a scan action here in order to try to fulfill this geological study mission here, worth 2 victory points with a census test of 20. But as the Sombra is not able to assist here, I think that's basically basically it. Yeah, I think there's nothing I can do. So the Corina has a maximum sensor setting of only 8. As mentioned, the Sombra cannot add anything to that, so it's not able to roll a 12 basically on one die roll. Again, the Klingon player does not have the appropriate cards. I could cycle one card, for example this one here. I could draw a new one instead. This is an additional combat card, so I don't gain any additional sensor setting bonus or whatsoever. So I think it's not possible for the Klingon player to actually match the 8 victory points of the Federation player. And I think this ends my playthrough of Star Trek Fleet Captains. I really have to say I like this game a lot. I see the, let's say, possibilities in this game, especially when you really play against clever human being and not against yourself. I think this is really a lot of potential in this game. I would really love to have also hold of the expansion. I think there will be the Dominion expansion, at least it's announced somewhere, or at least that they're planning to bring that out, and they're also saying that maybe the Romulan expansion goes to reprint, so I'm really looking forward to that. Interesting might also be the team games, so 2 vs 2, which is also something I definitely will try out in my gaming group sooner or later. But I really have to say that this is definitely a great game, especially with all these I think there are 50 of these location tiles here in the game, so you have a lot of replayability and variety in these tokens here, or in these sectors here. You also have a huge pile of encounter decks, the mission cards. Of course, some of them are doubles and I think maybe even triples, but putting this all together in one melting pot, you really have a lot of replayability in this game, and the theme is absolutely awesome. Really, this is a game I want to see when I want to think of Star Trek, to be honest. I really hope you enjoyed my little playthrough learning session of Fleet Captains here. Again, I do apologize for all the errors I was doing. Thanks for everyone who supported me in this playthrough, what to do, and making me aware of any mistakes and all the other questions that I received. So many thanks for that. I really hope to see you soon in one of my next videos. Not sure what I will be doing. I do have a slight idea, giving you another how-to video on an upcoming game that went very successfully through Kickstarter, but this is definitely something you will hear from me in about some days or so. Hope to see you soon, and until then, bye bye.